All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report Alert for August 19th, 2025. We are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. We appreciate you being here. If you could do the whole subscribe and hit the buttons and stuff and like and comment, it really does help. Also, please consider becoming a member. It's just a couple bucks a month. It keeps the information coming. I'm doing 2 reports a day, basically every day. So you're looking at 60 reports a month. For $2, that's a pretty darn good deal. And I'm always, or at least usually, ahead of the fold of everybody else. So for those that have been here a while, if you want to give a note on how on the ball we are, we would love it, but we appreciate you. As for Augusta Precious Metals, it is a gold and silver IRA company. They take it, you invest, they hold on to it, and then when you retire, you get the metals. It's a pretty cool system, and they're highly rated for a reason. There's a link in the description. This is your news, the alert for August 19th, 2025. NZZ editor and former spokesperson for arms producer Heckler & Koch says Germans must be forced into military service to potentially defend freedom of Europe. Oklahoma will require California and New York teacher applicants to pass a Prager University-administered exam designed to safeguard against radical leftist ideology. Analysts note there are radical leftists in every single state, so just singling out California and New York probably isn't going to do it. You should basically maybe have some kind of a administered exam for everyone. Trump agrees with European leaders to collaborate on Article 5-like security guarantees for Ukraine, but provided no details. When Europe visited White House, Trump was busy showing the European leaders in the media his MAGA hat collection, which he's very proud. No American troops will be sent to Ukraine soil, according to Trump. Earlier today, a Russian fuel train was targeted between Rozhny and Tokmak. Several wagons reportedly derailed and have caught fire. The fuel was intended for Russian forces on the Zaporozhye axis, where there was a buildup of mechanized infantry vehicles. Putin told Trump yesterday that they can host the Zelensky-Putin summit in Moscow. Zelensky promptly denied the request. According to Ukrainian and U.S. officials, the security guarantees provided to Ukraine will, through the air, I don't know what that means. According to Ukrainian and U.S. officials, the security guarantees provided to Ukraine will, through the air, I guess they're up in the air. Bill Barr testified that Trump is not implicated in the Epstein files. Israeli-born acting U.S. attorney for Nevada, Sigal Chattah, allowed an Israeli sexual predator of children to flee back to Israel and has now deactivated her personal X account because evidently she's getting harassed for obvious reasons. President Trump has made it clear that no American troops will be sent to fight on the ground in Ukraine. Good. August 18th, Trump hosted the multilateral meeting in the White House. Let's do a recap. He had Zelensky and other key figures like Macron, Starmer, Merz of Germany, Meloni of Italy, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, as well as the Finland President Stubb. And according to reports, the main focus of the meeting was the crisis in Ukraine, ongoing war with Russia. Leaders expressed strong support for Ukraine, emphasizing the importance of security guarantees and the need for a ceasefire and prerequisite peace talks. Trump showed willingness to offer U.S. security guarantees for Ukraine and discussed plans for a trilateral meeting with Trump, Zelensky, and Putin at some time. Trump had a separate phone call with Putin during the meeting to discuss arranging a direct talk between Putin and Zelensky. European leaders sought to display unity and push for a robust resolution to the conflict, came together to advocate for a peace deal, and included security guarantees for Ukraine without necessarily granting NATO membership. The meeting was described by all participants as constructive and focused on laying the groundwork for future negotiations and peace efforts in the war-torn region. Trump expressed optimism about peace prospects and emphasized a balance in negotiating terms so that neither side would be strategically disadvantaged. Relations between Australia and Israel have completely collapsed. Netanyahu says history will remember Australia's prime minister as a weak politician who betrayed Israel and abandoned Australia's Jewish people. Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov confirmed that there will be a territory exchange between Russia and Ukraine. He says territorial changes are often indispensable parts of reaching agreements. Finnish MP Emily Peltonen has unalived herself, or himself, I'm not sure, in a parliament building in Helsinki, according to local press reports. Trump escalates his relations with Venezuela, and Maduro declared mass mobilization. He called for a mobilization of 4.5 million Bolivarian paramilitary forces as Trump deployed 3 warships near the country. La guerra. An outbreak of Legionnaire's disease in New York City's Harlem neighborhood, thought to have been originated in contaminated cooling towers, has killed 5 people and put 14 in the hospital. Brazil asks Meta to remove chatbots that eroticize children. If you're still using Meta, you need to stop using it. It's a terrible company. Air Canada flight attendants end strike after reaching tentative agreement, according to the union, and Air Canada says it will gradually restart flights after this deal. Here are your top 10 new normie headlines for August 19th, 2025. Federal crackdown in Washington, D.C. leads to over 450 arrests. Since August 7th, federal authorities in D.C. have made more than 450 arrests, seized 68 firearms, and cleared 48 homeless encampments, criticized as arisen over the focus on enforcement in tourist and nightlife areas rather than high crime neighborhoods. And several Republican-led states have sent National Guard support. Administration also announced plans to turn over Epstein case documents to Congress. U.S. dollar steadies amid geopolitical tensions and Ukraine summit anticipation. Dollar index rose 0.31%, buoyed by President Trump's assurances of security guarantees to Ukraine as markets await the outcome of a high-stakes summit. Global markets brace for remarks from Fed Chair Powell, upcoming Jackson Hole Symposium. European shares surged to 6-month high on Ukraine peace hopes. European stock markets rallied on the optimism over Ukraine peace deal. Grocery inflation in the UK eased slightly to only 5%. You're doing great, UK. U.S. housing starts climbed. Shine reconsidered its Hong Kong listing, and Victorinox considered shifting production to the U.S., offset tariffs. Trump claims to arrange Ukraine peace talks, says Europe would lead best efforts. Trump says he is orchestrating trilateral talks aimed at Russia's war on Ukraine, hastily arranged summit with European and NATO leaders and President Zelensky. He pledged U.S. security guarantees to Ukraine, but clarified that Europe would take the lead. That is according to Democracy Now!, a completely leftist and biased news organization that is gotten by ChatGPT, where I get these stupid headlines. Stock market moves. Home Depot, Intel, Palo Alto Networks, and Apple. All quarterly results. Intel gained 5%, $2 billion investment from SoftBank, U.S. government involvement. Palo Alto Networks surged over 6%, strong earnings. Apple expanded iPhone 17 production to reduce tariff exposure. Josh Shankar began a 3-day visit to Russia amidst U.S.-India tensions. Kicked off the diplomatic tour in Moscow, and it'll go from the 19th to the 21st of August. High-level meetings, rising tensions between the U.S. and India. New moon of Uranus was discovered. That's right, Uranus has a new moon. S2025U1. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, have announced the discovery of a new Uranian moon named S2025, approximately 10 kilometers in diameter. So Uranus has a new moon. Flooding and weather prompt school closures across multiple Indian states. Heavy rainfall. Asia Cup squad announced delayed after Mumbai rains. Oh, terrible, terrible. And there's a train accident in South Korea that killed 2 and injured 4. I will note, it's nice to get back to the point where it seems our news isn't absolutely bat-ished insane every day. I feel like we're settling down a little bit. So I'll wait for the oncoming crazy train that is now, of course, has to come due to me being arrogant and saying that. Friends, we're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. We appreciate you being here. God bless you all. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Consider becoming a member. Consider helping out the channel, and I will keep the intel flowing. And if not, and you can't do it, and you're broke and just getting crushed right now, I totally understand it. We'll keep going. Just keep visiting the channel, and we appreciate you being here. More to come. God bless. Have a great day.